Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3, where today perhaps we will be entering the Chaos Realm to seek the soul of a demon prince. That feels like the big important kind of stuff we should be doing. But unfortunately, before we can reasonably get to any of that kind of stuff, we have to just keep killing the same, 6 human beings over and over again. Look at you. Look at you with your hat, and you put the skull just on top of a normal hat. That's not how you use a skull as a hat, like in a cool... That's not the cool way to use a skull as a hat, is all I'm saying. So, let's get the hell over there and show this guy how to work a skull. We will certainly do a thing with his skull. And then we gotta worry about Gosser, and then, once those two are cleaned up, perhaps it is time to get to the... This is a real nightmare. Not the part where the big portal has opened to the realms of demons and whatnot. That part's fine. In fact, we're cool with that. That's a good thing for us. It's all the other parts around it that have turned into a real nightmare. Thinks he can outrun us by getting in a boat. Like Karn doesn't know how to build a boat. Does the demon... You think the odds are that that demon knows how to build a boat? Interesting. Gosser is retreating. In fact, both of the Nordland boats are retreating. I wonder if something is occurring down south. If that is the case, it certainly makes my life easier. Are y'all all still just going to Goblin Town? Like, how many armies of Norskens does it take to take out a single Goblin settlement that can't even have walls around it? Alright, the Seducers of Slaanesh have entered Nurgle's realm. The Ice Court has succeeded in drawing supporters, and the Great Orthodoxy has to acknowledge the supremacy of the... It's probably the case that that stuff affects us in some way, and darn it, we were too proactive on the closing of the rift. We get no reward.
Demon Prince.
Alright, Hama.
Where I please.
The hour of your reckoning is approaching. And then we can use, potentially we can use our teleport stance to get back over here more quickly.
Blood Reaper.
Alright, Cran. Cran does, in fact, know how to naval. Look at that. It's not like a very ostentatious boat. Apparently, he's just like... That's like 14 oars. He's just operating them all himself. Those bloodletters, they got a lot of energy.
Surge through the snow, peons.
So, at this point, I think it's relatively unlikely that we will be able to quickly save up for the Tier 5 upgrade to the Doom Keep, because we're going to be paying a lot of money to fill these 2 slots with solid recruitment buildings and then build up a second army. So, my feeling for the moment is that we can take a second here and level up our other fjords, get some extra garrison buildings in there, just to make it so that it's a little bit more difficult for people to mess with them, so that not so that they will survive attacks on their own, but so that when people show up, they have to put in a little bit of siege time, and we get a chance to respond. I'm pretty surprised that that is happening even now with Hama. I would have expected that with that army he'd be able to just attack immediately. But you know, maybe the AI is scared of the new siege battle system. It does require a lot more effort than the old one. And if there's one thing I know about computers, it is that they are profoundly lazy. Yeah, interesting. Something... The demon gates opening at home must be having some serious effect. Alright, so when we zoomed past Black Venom there on the turn thing, their bar was completely green, which means that they have actually 0 military units. Their army has been thoroughly defeated, and it should be the case that at any moment our allies could just crush their settlement, and who knows how long it's going to actually take. Obviously, we're not winning this.
Rejoice.
But we will get sweet, sweet vengeance. He didn't even take it. He just sacked it and then ran 10 feet away. All right. Interesting. a couple of forces that seem to be made up entirely of a single hero. Something strange is happening. It looks like the Altar of Spawns did get claimed. Alright, yep, people are entering the thing. Black Venom was destroyed. Great news for us. The Architect of Fate. For days, there have been sightings of a tiny flame around camp, shifting between indescribable colors. The flame grows steadily and comes to bear the echo of a face, contorted by manic laughter. It soon sprouts a surfeit of twitching limbs and a tendril-like tongue. The Raven God has made his play. We got ourselves an iridescent horror. Look at it. Just absolutely adorable is what it is. Let's equip you with... No, I can't equip you with these. These have to go on Lords, and all of our other stuff is already equipped. Okay. Never mind. But we got ourselves another spellcasting hero who can perhaps be used for some other stuff. Apparently, we're at war with the Bloody Harvest here. We can just go over there and try to mess those guys up. Mess that single guy up, I should say. So, did you move far enough away that we can't catch you? It looks like maybe exactly far enough away, in fact. We might... I don't know. We might be inside of attack range there. It's hard to tell. He's like right at the edge. Okay. He flees. We are allowed to give chase. But, yeah, we won't quite reach him. Alright, well... let's just go ahead and repair the buildings here at Ice Drake Fjord. Super annoying. Made me come all the way over here for this. Alright, yeah, Cran, just go south. Go south and do havoc. The number one thing I want from my demons at this point is just as much havoc as they can produce. We do not have a plan of any kind. My plan is mayhem at this point. Am I worried about the fact that every other faction has entered a Chaos Gate and they're all currently working toward Demon Prince souls or whatever? Yeah, sure. I'm worried. Worried enough to, like, focus on it? No, apparently not. Apparently not. So it looks like, did the ogres just... Maybe they were just in an ambush stance or something. It kind of looked like they emerged from the thing there. So there are ogre encampments down in Empire Land, it looks like. That certainly wasn't true before, on account of the ogres were not in the game until quite recently. But yeah, Gristle Valley sounds like it probably starts its life as an ogre encampment. And gosh, it sure does look like those wood elves are planning to sail up here again. Well, now that the Bjornlings don't have to pay attention to... I keep wanting to call them Poison Jam. Black Venom. Black Venom is the name of that faction. They are nothing like Poison Jam. Perhaps we can turn their attention to the south, and they can cause enough trouble for some of the Southlanders that we don't have to worry so much. Maybe they can burn down the Wood Elf Forest? That would be handy.
Demon Prince.
Okay, so if we move into our teleport stance, I can just teleport right over to here. Now, any amount of teleportation uses up all of your movement. That's how all of these kinds of stances work. Let's go ahead and upgrade this one as well. Or do I want to... Maybe we just want to go full size on... Yeah, let's do it. Let's make this a dedicated town. So you might have noticed, it takes more growth to generate each successive point of population. So by continuing to spend our surplus population down, we are actually generating points much, much faster than we would if we were like trying to save up 5 at a time. It's just that sometimes you have to save up 5 at a time because that's how the thing works. Alright, let's get you... we can almost get up on the shore. Yeah, we'll definitely mess with those guys. And I don't know what your deal is, Malefics Kilgore, but what if I killed? What if I'm trying to get to a place where like there's a joke here where it's like I kill him more? Malefics killed more. I can't quite navigate it. Listen, I got a lot on my mind. Alas of change, our iridescent horror was not up to par in this attempt. But you can see, even on a failed map action, he still managed to earn like half a level worth of XP. So we're going to potentially just chase Hamathane Frost all the way out of here. If he wants to stop moving enough to get fought, we can deal with that as well. Can I have...
To be honest, I'd rather be raiding.
Gosh, you are at war with a lot of people. I don't think this faction is among them, actually. All right, never mind. I was gonna ask if we could get like some war coordination going, but I do not think our friend here is at war. Excuse me, with the Thanefrost clan. It's fine. Somehow we will soldier on alone. It is nice that there's a little bit more like hostility in the middle area here for the humans to have to deal with. Good for us in so many ways that they do not have the time to settle their eyes northward. I mean, not all of them, at least. Gosh, there sure are an awful lot of people gathering up around that one settlement. I wonder what's happening over there. He closed it. He closed my gate. He didn't even want to go in there. He just closed it. Oh, this is grim news. And my suspicion is that it's probably a bad idea to try to go into the gate with an army that's mostly made up of like starting tier units. So maybe it would never have been wise for us to go for that at all.
Stragglers will be slain.
Okay, so we're not going to be able to loop around here. I have concerns. All right, the Savage Blow. Many conflicts are won or lost on the strength of the first vicious charge. Men are sent flying from the battlefield, often in pieces, even before the savagery of melee begins. A well-timed charge shatters enemy morale as well as bodies. Blood and sweat may coat the victors, but victory is always painted in colors such as these. I don't know. Like, what if you win a board game? I've seen a couple of board game victories that would be painted in colors such as these, but not usually. Those at the head of the charge seek ever greater thrills, ever more bloodshed, etc. For 10 turns, big charge bonus for all armies of all factions. Just run at somebody. Just find somebody and run at them. Okay. So it does seem like Hamathane Frost is going to be able to escape us. There's not a lot we can do about this right now. We can't really outmaneuver him. Unless... I guess... Okay, here's the thing I can do. Now that we're not trying to preserve the ability to go over here to the Chaos Gate, we can at least go this way, so if he comes down here and tries to hit one of our settlements again, we can hit him. And I don't know if he'll be able to see that we're here. We can see his position because we have vision from our allies and stuff. It may be the case that he won't realize that we're nearby and he'll just wander into a position where we can catch him. Alright, let's get this going. And I really think that as much as I would like to do a lot of other things, I kind of think that we have to focus on getting garrisons at these places first. Alright, Cran, it is time to do hostilities. I don't know who this lady is, but why don't you try to murder her with a sword? Okay, big surprise. Cran has failed to reap the blood. Slowly we will learn how to do these things. %, I mean... I don't know what your deal is, but prepare to get horrified. Nope, nothing, that's too... Okay. Two 58% failures in a row. It's not, the math on that is a little frustrating. It's not like obviously anywhere near impossible or anything, just a tiny bit frustrating. Well, there are other chaos gates up north, but I mean, maybe that other one over there is reachable. If the army that we've been chasing is wise to our position, they'll probably just try to move home. And if they move toward their home, we can take that moment to break back northward and hopefully get into a chaos gate before they close. I mean, we've still got a fair amount of time, but also each gate could potentially get closed at any moment, so... we should probably come over here and see what's up. Something is happening in this area. Are the Kislevites attacking the Wood Elves? Is that what it is? Also, gosh, there's a lot of armies just moving around in the north. I don't think he did know we were there. Unfortunately, it's going to be... oh, hey. Somebody damaged the walls against the Doom Keep. And also, for some reason, I see something stole focus on my computer. Okay, so I mean, that's a gate right there that we're not too far from. We could at least have a look inside. So, because we failed to kill Malefix, he was able to run over here and to damage the walls around our settlement. And here's what I think about that. No, for real, die. Okay, wow, all right. So, on a success, when you assassinate somebody, you wound them and they are removed from the map for some period of time. On a critical success, you permanently kill them. That unit is actually gone forever. And hey, we gained over a level from it. Let's just really dig in on the power of assassination, shall we? So, bonus assassination chance and then bonus chance on actions. The Doom Keep has successfully completed its upgrade. The walls were... okay, they were not... their strength was not dropped by very much. So, what do we want to do here? We can get some better melee troops. We can build... this building gets us the cavalry. So this is how we get back up to Seekers. We'd have to get to 1540 Slaanesh Glory, but, like, I think that's probably worth pursuing. And like I said, I do want to look for some kind of ranged unit, which seems hard to find. Maybe there just aren't any ranged units among the Slaaneshi. Maybe you have to get a Tzeentch village up. Well, we can do that. Okay, let's start by building one of these. We want access to cavalry units. Let's get some cavalry unit stuff.
Chaos incarnate.
We cannot reach you, but I can just pressure you out of here. The Longship Graveyard has a real garrison now. Honestly, I don't think Hamathane Frost's army would necessarily be able to put up with a garrison that is boosted with even one of these. So I am going to turn north.
Power.
And running gets us that far. Oh, I don't have enough... oh, our Winds of Magic power reserve over here. We were actually using magic to teleport. Yeah, I'm just going to run this way. I guess we're going to hoof it over to the teleport, or to the portal. Not what I was trying to do. Okay, so that would be a 34% chance. Over here, there's a unit from the Pleasure Tide. Yeah, I mean, like, we should probably go after it, the unit that we're most likely to succeed against. What if we just attacked Kostalton's army? 43% chance of dealing damage to units. I guess let's take this. It is always sad to see demons fighting demons, though. Like, you gotta ask yourself, in that scenario, who's winning?
Unrest ferments.
And maybe we should just build a money building in the other slot at the Doomkeep. I wanted to build the other purple building, but maybe we should just get some extra favor. So these Chaos Gates seem to open up with a remarkable density. There are a lot of gates kind of all over the place. So basically, even if we send our army out on offense and we're out, marauding across the countryside far from home, basically wherever we are, we will probably have access to at least a gate or two when this event rolls around. Oh, don't do it. They're thinking about closing that gate, I think. I'm not too worried about Hama just sitting in our land and raiding for the moment. We have a plan. We have a thing to focus on now. The Goldtooth have claimed a Demon Prince's soul. Well, that could be bad for us.
Surge through the snow, peons.
So we do have military access. Yeah, okay, we have the little indicator. Is that the closest? Yeah, I guess so, right? It is somewhat inconvenient.
Search of conquest.
But at the same time, I don't know that we really have a choice. Alright. Oh, that's right. We already have the basic money-making building here. What is the upgrade cost? 2,000 gets us... I mean, it's only another 140 income per turn. It pays itself off fairly quickly, I guess. So what do I want? Do I want to build the... I'm not even sure what kinds of units we're spawning here. These are monstrous infantry, chariots, lots of chariots. But eventually the Keeper of Secrets, which is going to be a pretty badass monster unit. Or do we just build the normal recruitment building and get, like, demonettes? I guess let's do this. So this'll give our army a little bit more diversity, a little bit more oomph.
Hunger to slay.
And then, after performing a successful assassination, heroes generally have to, like, chill out for a turn. What is this? The Shrine of Ursun. That's cool that there's, like, a marked landmark. What is your deal, friend?
None but Slanesh may dominate me.
Well, okay then. That's a very succinct answer to the question of what is your deal. We're gonna have this one go and explore to the east a little bit, I think, just kind of like get some vision. You know, they said ruin would pour forth from the portals, which is why I was so hasty to close the one that was in the middle of all of our stuff. It did not occur to me the degree to which they appear to have been lying, because we've not seen any ruin pour out of any of these things. Maybe nothing happens until the portal timer runs out, and then each of them spawns an army or something. Yeah, we are definitely getting some time bought for us by, like I said, our enemies going to each other's throats. So we could just close this portal down here. We could use our demon to shut this portal, and that'll accomplish a quest. But I think the reward was a pretty small amount of favor, so it might not be worth it. Or glory? Favor? Glory? We have both favor and glory to worry about. I'm not really sure which is which. You did close it. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Well, then I guess I will just turn my whole army around. It actually is like a little frustrating. I just want to go to Super Hell. Why doesn't anybody want to let me? Yeah, I guess these armies must have come out of the gates, but we have had vision of gates. And we certainly haven't seen anything come out of any of them.
Substitute for
So like the nearest we get markers on the map here. There really just aren't any gates anywhere near us anymore. I think I've sort of missed our opportunity for this first one. Ah well.
a ruinous crusade.
Let me go see if we can draw some blood so that I can keep my bloodletting flowing. Because, like, apparently it's decaying pretty rapidly. We had a good thing going there for a minute. So we could put up fortifications. Maybe the better play is just a vault of pheromones in each location. Because, like, we are kind of desperate for money right now. Oh, wait, sorry. Ice Drake Fjord should get one of those. We do need some additional garrison. So we don't actually have any money right now. I'm just gonna hang out over here and watch what's going on. So there are a couple of different ways you can deal with an army doing the thing that Hama Thanefrost's army is doing. One of them is just moving around in ambush mode a lot so that they don't know when they need to run away from you. Another is getting some of the heroes have the ability to reduce the movement of armies. So you can just get a hero who has the ability to slow an army, which will allow you to catch up trivially. Obviously, having a second army would allow us to catch them in the mountain passes and just block off both sides. And then in addition, there's usually, I think for each faction, there's at least one building that gives bonus movement to friendly armies starting in the region the building is in. So there's a lot of ways we could be dealing with this. We're not doing any of them because they're all like kind of expensive, and I don't even know which kind of hero to hire to get the slowdown. And honestly, we haven't needed to kill him. We've just needed to get him to go away. But at this point, I wouldn't mind killing him. And then going down there and sacking his entire country. Okay, so this thing again, I think it makes sense to go corn again. Yeah, it's the same deal. Alright, so he can run all he wants. If he's not going back to the altar of the Crimson Harvest, then it is going to fall. And if he is, it's still probably going to fall. I'm still going to have at him there. Alright, so let's go ahead and build a vault of pheromones. Just an extremely normal kind of building to have in a town. And I would like to keep leveling my heroes here. These frost maidens are a little bit more clever.
Skull or skull throw.
Tough to murder. The thing about frost maidens, and everybody knows this, is that they are notoriously difficult to murder. Black Gulch is just empty, huh? You know, maybe we should come down here and claim this whole region. Maybe that is our second province, while we wait for the Chaos Gates to open again. It's not a bad target for us, actually. It doesn't really introduce a lot of new surface area to the enemies that we're worried about. Yeah. Alright, that makes sense. Also, while we're moving south, it isn't impossible that we'll discover that there are chaos gates that are in the unexplored part of the map, just like really nearby. And in fact, we should probably turn our iridescent horror down in that direction to see if there are, because we still have time to move to them. Potentially. Yep, you keep running. Foul moon waxes. Morsley looms full in the sky, and traces of an enormous shifting face appear beneath its green surface. While most mortals either hide in fear or collapse into gibbering lunacy, get it? You revel in its sickly light. The threshold between realms grows thin. I mean, it's been thin. So we can offer a great sacrifice, offer the immediate execution of every mortal kept in your dungeons and torture chambers, to lower the recruitment cost of armies, or simply pillage the local settlements for a whole lot of cash. Seems like the move to me.
Kislev's fallen champion.
Yeah.
Never.
Take that, roar. So upgrading this is $100. Upgrading this is also $100, but on top of that, it's 10 growth. I mean, at this point, 10 growth isn't really that much value, but we actually had the money to do both, so never mind. Not really a comparison.
Destroyer all.
Alright, why don't you just actually stay put? Now, our friend up here...
Summon God Axel.
Let's see if they have left any gates open. Doesn't look like it. What have we here? The Golden Monolith. Constantly battered by the winds of... Come on? Treasure seekers have sought its legend, but they are fools if they think to claim it. Wait, what? The monolith? It looks huge. I mean, I guess maybe that's exactly what they're talking about. Of course you'd be a fool to think you can claim that. It's a 30-foot tall rock. What would you even do with it? So I am noticing an awful lot of red in a lot of these bars. There's a lot of players who do not care for us very much, who have a stronger military than we do. But then you see stuff like that. Scrag the Slaughterer down here, who is hated and feared by all of our foes, and is even stronger than they are. So, you know, maybe it's just sort of a food chain situation. We just have to not be at the bottom.
Better to be by my side than in my path.
A warherd. Ooh, wow. I will absolutely do a non-aggression pact for 3,000 favor. That's awesome. We have a lot of relatively expensive upgrades to buy yet. Interesting. I was expecting Thane Frost to go home. I do not think the capital is in any danger from his piddly army, so we're just going to his settlement and we're going to burn it to the ground. The Undoer. One of your wilder-eyed cultists claims to have communed with the lesser chaos god Zuvasin. Okay. So we can choose a blessing. Bonus diplomatic relations with the poxmakers of Nurgle, or... I think that's fine. I don't know that we need extra campaign line of sight right now. Currently, the Ice Court dominates. Listen, the affairs of Kislevites are impossible to understand. Who would even try? And here we go.
You are nothing.
Passive power recharging. I appreciate that they've turned that into a passive ability, because it was annoying to have to keep clicking over to the unit every so often to click on it. So, even though we don't have the glory required for the Seekers of Slaanesh, Well, I guess these buildings don't really do much if you're not recruiting. Yeah, let's go ahead and upgrade that to that level at least. Need to be at 1320 before we can do Exalted Demonettes. Yeah, so probably it's not really a high priority. The growth building, probably also not a high priority at this point. I think making money. Making money is the thing we care about the most. There is nobody left to murder. Everybody left. But what if we just attack the castle? Terribly embarrassing. Cran is awful at his job. And by his job, I mean every job we ask him to do. So, I mean, this is still up. And it's not really that far from us. Can we get there in 4 turns? Maybe.
Give us a charge!
My guess is probably, well, if we skip attacking the altar, and we had the winds of magic necessary to teleport.
Champion!
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Our army sadly is out of magic, so. Well, they did it. They got Dietershafen. And that probably means that we're not going to be seeing any more Nordlanders for a while, at least. So that doesn't wipe them out necessarily, but it does mean that they've lost. I believe Dietershafen is, well, no, it's not their capital. We can see Salzenmund as their capital, but it's one of their more important cities. And honestly, I would much rather face a single powerful enemy than 20 relatively weak enemies, because of the way that players receive bonuses on these higher difficulties, the free resources they get and stuff. Okay, extra movement range from running around in march mode so much. Pretty fantastic. A brutal business. Battle is a blood-soaked affair. Limbs severed, bones exposed, men left for dead in the cruor-soaked fields among scores of fallen friends and enemies. Just another one of these big buffs going on. Base weapon damage plus 20 for all armies of all factions. Obviously, this is tremendously better for factions that have a large number of weak units, or a large number of weak bodies in their unit, rather than the smaller, more elite armies. Oh, I can't quite reach it this turn. That's a real shame. Well, maybe. I mean, it's like right at the edge. Yeah, not quite. All right, we'll get it. All right, do you want to try this again? Could you maybe, like... There we go. Got it right eventually. So, another 2% to all action success chances. And you are just gathering information. So the Sarl have land way further east than I was expecting. It might not be so trivial to completely wipe them out. I was kind of hoping we could just take every one of their settlements and then let their army starve to death in the cold. Can't run that off. But I guess there will be no such luck. So we don't know exactly how many Chaos Gate openings it will take for any of the AI factions to beat us to claiming the Bear Spirit. Oh, Black Gulch looks empty because it's a Skaven territory. That makes sense. It may be the case, potentially, that that some of these factions will successfully claim a soul with each opening. But it seems just as, like, it is clearly the case that a lot of the people who entered the Chaos Realm did not actually manage to gain a soul. So, I guess our hope is that that'll be the case for most of them, that they won't always pull it off. And then the ones that do will just have to receive some special attention. Oh, the northern province has got one.
Demon Prince.
Okay, this is like super trivial. Close victory.
Show them the true face of chaos.
Let's dedicate this one to Siege.
In my dread name.
I want some Siege recruitment buildings here. So yep, pink and exalted pink. I kind of thought the blue horrors would come from that same building. So Spawn and Forsaken, these are proper melee troops. Flamethrowers? That's interesting. Soul Grinders and Burning Chariots. Where the heck do you get the other... Huh. Where do blue horrors even come from? Well, that's pretty weird. Still, the recruitment building for pink horrors does seem like it would be a pretty huge boon to us. For the moment... Yeah, I kind of think just garrison, so that we don't have to watch so very closely all of the time.
Demon Prince.
And our Demon Prince continues to level up. We're definitely taking the last level of Intimate Allies here.
Benediction from the gods.
Okay, and a turn spent in a friendly settlement will do us wonders.
Chaos reigns.
Plucked Shattered Beak. That seems very unpleasant. So, power recharge whenever out of melee, the spell Transmutation of Lead. I don't know. I mean, not that I think our current head is necessarily awesome, but I think there's a lot to be said for the melee attack, and we really don't have, like... I am concerned about our dropping melee attack. So, we could lose 3% missile resistance to gain 3% spell resistance. Honestly, it's probably fine. Like, it's not exciting to do, but it's a slightly cooler looking shield, and it gets us closer to that item set.
What pride? Blood with the flesh. Glory.
Alright, there we go. Our Blood Reaper's done some good damage there. Some work to be proud of. Ranked up in a province with low corn corruption, so he has learned to produce additional corn corruption. I'm not exactly sure how much they are suffering down here from the corruption. For the moment, it doesn't seem to be inflicting much harm, although we are certainly painting the landscape and dotting it with, you know, things. So in theory, enables attrition for non-chaos worshipping armies, but we can see, like...
No higher power than
I guess there's an attrition marker here, but we haven't seen the attrition doing any real damage. And income for buildings up, which is okay. Does that apply to people who even non-chaos armies? Because that's pretty strange. So I'm not automatically at war with the Skaven. That's interesting. So it tells us that the game does consider Skaven armies to be like obviously explicitly armies of chaos. I don't know that that's quite that clear cut in most of the source material. The Great Horned Rat is kind of a chaos god, but there's a more complicated thing going on there, I think. So lucky assassination there, excellent work. Just gaining XP and denying vision to this this dwarvish player to our east. And
Has the perfect prince forsaken us?
Hamathane Frost he sure is looting an awful lot of money off of us. I do not care for it. I was kind of hoping he would be baited to come back. Maybe he still will now that we're taking his territory. we can move pretty much straight east and get another structure off of them. And then maybe from there we can negotiate peace, provided we don't push any further. Obviously, that's a peace treaty we intend to break, but if we can just get him to lay off for a second, it could be helpful. That said, obviously getting control of this province is going to involve getting that settlement away from the Skaven. Just sort of opening up a whole new problem. And the Bjornlings and the Greylings they are striking very deep into the south. Marienburg has a lot of money. It is a like hyper rich port. That said, I don't know if they have the forces necessary to take it. I mean, maybe the value of raiding those lands is high enough to justify the sailing. Moving an entire army that far out of useful position. So even more Noblars. I don't think that's a very fun standard. Let's do this.
Hellish power.
So every time we do that, we get a whole bunch of new bits here. Fueled by rage. Oh, I do like this. So Gorefeast is replenishing HP. We have not... it's not very much. We can replace it with Frenzy, which gives us a significant boost as long as our leadership is above half. I feel like that's got to be the right move. Ooh, I like those horns better. Although it seems like, with all the corners and stuff, it seems like it'd be easy to get them snagged on things. There's also these dual horns. So a huge explosion of blight. Yeah, I think we've made the right move here. Have we finally got something that is compelling enough to wear? Probably not. The second level of Scythe Arm is interesting. The ability to create an infernal gateway. Huge stationary damage area. I mean, I think we're going to stick with this. Devastating Flanker. Double their charge bonus when attacking the rear or flank of an entity. That's pretty cool. And our charge bonus is relatively significant. This obviously helps with that. What does the item set do? I don't think that set bonus is worth grabbing. I'm gonna leave the legs we have on now because we're getting close to completing their set. We picked up a couple of weapons. So with a Great Lance, we can become a monster hunter specifically. I'm a little surprised to see that the lance is a one-handed weapon. Plus 25% armor-piercing weapon damage. Honestly, this is kind of compelling. It's a way smaller overall damage boost, but it's a much larger boost to armor piercing. Like, we're starting to get into the part of the game where I am concerned we're going to see more advanced stuff from enemies, and that's a big bonus versus large. Although I guess if we were going to do something like that, maybe we just go with a Titanic Great Axe. I don't know. We'll leave it as it is for now. If we start seeing players with more elite armored units or with more monsters, then maybe we'll make the switch over. So the Tower of Croc over here is the other place that is owned by the Sarl in this area. How many
Whichever woeful day
how many settlements do they have left? 2. Okay, so it is just these 2. We could just wipe them out and then loop back around for this stuff.
A timely arrival.
Aisling. This is their only thing. And actually, where was that Skaven force? Okay, Clan Mange also only has 1 settlement, so we can wipe out factions while taking land here, which is usually the best way to do it. No fear of reprisal.
Fallen champion.
I'm going to stay put for one more turn just to let all these units heal up. But yeah, I think the plan is we're just going to scour this whole province. So if I upgrade this again... It's an extra 4 points of control, which is really nice. We're managing to be positive on control even while being raided, which is pretty helpful. And then this one actually, that's like a hell of a garrison. But we also just got enough of a boost of devotion there that we could hire Exalted Demonettes of Slaanesh, and these have some pretty okay combat stats. These are definitely much more compelling units than the Marauders. Yeah, spend the money on this. We're gonna get some cool units.
I have ascended.
Not right now, but soon. So what is going on over here? Is it just Dwarfland? Interesting. So there's a Nurgle force around here somewhere, probably. This is their advanced scout. Unfortunately, as you can see, as they level up, the failed attempts seem less and less effective at generating
Chaos incarnate.
XP. So we probably should, in this region, this new province, we probably should try to make sure we dedicate one settlement to each non-Slaanesh god, just so that we're sure we have access to all of the recruitment capabilities. Those Skaven are, like, for sure planning to attack us, right? Why else would they be gathering up like that? I think it may be time to go act on their hometown. I don't know how many armies they could possibly have, but it sure does seem like there can't be much left at home, right? Yep, souls captured. The rifts have gone. The demonic hosts that crossed the maelstrom through them have lost their link to the Chaos Realms. Without such power to sustain themselves, the hosts will quickly dissipate. Okay. So they want to take as many souls with them as possible. The demons from the rifts attack. Yeah, and these are all of the specific... Okay.
Supreme champion.
Alright, it is my hope
Faster or face my wrath.
that we will not, by doing this, we will not, like, tip our hand. They won't realize they need to come back and play defense. You know, technically, I'm not, like, a force that's at war with them, so... Fails at absolutely everything, no matter what his success chance is. Let's reveal what's through here. Okay, Great Big Bear Mountain. That's pretty cool. That, for some reason, that doesn't get a marker. Yeah, definitely build me some infrastructure.
Wrath thirst is frost. Chaos reigns.
Okay, yeah, absolutely not. Definitely not an upgrade. So even if we do have the ability to crush the Skaven settlement in a single attack, which we may well, that might actually be the case, we do have to worry about reprisals. Those armies will be taking attrition damage, but they won't be immediately eliminated. And if the three of them are within range of attacking me, we will certainly suffer badly for that. They're kind of spreading out over there. I think we might be safe.
Finite. Possibly have to offer an eternal being.
Hey, that's not what the text or what the voice said. A non-aggression pact with Clan Molder, I will absolutely accept. That's a much more impressive Skaven clan further to the east. We don't have to worry about them right now. We can certainly take their money. should go with them. Just go down there and raid Marienburg for a bit.
Hellish power. It serves chaos. Seek prey.
All right, there
minions.
basically can't be anything still here, right? They have 3 armies. Declare war? Yeah, declare war. What am I, afraid of some Skaven? Yeah, so very obvious, easy, decisive victory.
Make them in my name, minions.
Let's go ahead and take it, and we will dedicate it to... Who do we want more favor with? I'm trying to think, like... We're going to... This is not the big settlement in the province. We probably want to dedicate that to someone who's more advanced units we definitely want. So that should be the Nurgle thing, because we have enough favor with Nurgle that we can actually unlock the good stuff. So this should go to Khorne then.
The vanguard in the ruinous crusade. Demon Prince.
And let's immediately, yeah, get some Chaos Warriors in here.
Demon Prince.
We'll heal up pretty quickly, and yeah, they won't be able to get anywhere near us. So they're all suffering very badly for having no home.
Supreme Champion.
And wouldn't you know it, we unlock some more body parts. Chaos armor, a little bit of melee attack back, so we're losing the 10 armor and turning it into 5 melee defense and 5 melee attack. I actually like that quite a bit. We get to keep the ward save. That's just like less, that's way less armor than, okay, it's fine. Dude likes to be naked. There's no two ways about that. No, I'm fine with my ward save wings.
Crimson Death.
Do I want you to maybe... I'm gonna maybe bring this one home. I think we have important stuff to do up here. And this was a target-rich environment while we were mostly focused on just getting any XP, but now we have actual, like, an actual job to do. This one's gonna circle around and come back as well. Okay, so here's Hell Pit. This is Clan Molder's main base. Only of importance to the Skaven. Do I want to pursue these upgrades, or do I want to bank a little bit? This building maxes out at 3. We don't really care so much about that. This would be nice to do, but we can almost get... You know what? Let's go ahead and take this upgrade. We get almost as much control out of doing that, and the... It's cheaper. So there's some chance that the Skaven response to losing their only settlement is going to be all of them just hurl themselves against the Doomkeep and try to claim that instead. And if they go for it, but they can't get it right away, then we can... Okay, they're sort of scattering. They're looking for an opening. I think we have some very bad news for them, unfortunately. Well, you know, unfortunately for them. Okay, I dig this raiding Marienbad thing, because all of the forces down there are going to be so focused on that they're not going to have time to come up here and attack us anymore. All right, so if we select Doomkeep and then we right-click on the army that is sieging it, we can just have the garrison sally out and fight them. They will flee from this, I assume. Actually, no, they're totally letting us have at it. I mean, this is a comical overmatch. That's basically just a free victory.
We will be reborn.
Pretty desperate play. Maybe it should have been a manual fight, because we definitely would have done better in the overall. But my guess is it's not going to end up mattering very much. Let's see. The Altar of the Crimson Harvest is more likely to come under attack. It would take 3 turns to do this upgrade anyway.
This world will burn.
So yeah, I guess the fact that the Altar of the Crimson Harvest is more likely to come under attack means that actually this is the one we should upgrade. Because this is the one where I feel like it's pretty likely we will not actually lose the settlement. The Longship Graveyards almost got its upgraded garrison, which, yeah, would be absolutely sufficient to withstand that army. I don't think any of the remaining Skaven armies are things we even have to worry about.
This lives fallen champion.
So what we're going to do is run over to here.
Destiny
We have regenerated a fair amount of Winds of Magic, so next turn we'll just teleport across the mountain range and grab the Forgotten Citadel,
snap your spine in two.
and also get constantly threatened by our own units, because they just can't seem to help themselves.
Seen it. Deus Ex.
Hey, check out all the polar bears. Alright, so this apparently is what the Acelings are busy doing. It doesn't seem terribly likely to me that they're going to capture that huge fortress with just that many men. This is why we have to take their settlement, because we're going to put it to much, much better use than they would. And then after we've done this, we can just continue pushing on the... I keep forgetting. Whatever the name of Hama Thanefrost's faction is. Until they are annihilated, which they won't be able to resist very well because one of their armies is over here. Yep, decisive victory. Skaven are absolutely desperate.
Skulls for the Skull Throne.
Our sisters will hunt.
Skulls for the undivided throne. Skulls for the throne that we will just like share nicely among the 4 of us. Yeah, they tend to get a little panicky when you remove all of their what do you call it? When you remove all of their settlements. I'm really surprised Hama Thanefrost hasn't like really tried something yet.
Hellish power.
Not everybody has the vision, you know, to pull off this leader of chaos thing.
I go where
All right. Unfortunately, the destruction of their army last turn freed up resources, so they've built a new lord, and they're starting recruitment of a new army,
from your skull.
which is just very inconvenient. Sure would be a nice thing for them not to do while I am still here and working on this, but somehow we shall survive. All right, let's go ahead and finish upgrading the Bay of Blades. Have here a nice fully upgraded minor settlement with a pretty real garrison, even without the secondary garrison building. So... I don't know that there's anything here that we particularly need to do. I do kind of just want to bring my units back. I feel like we got good scouting information there. Let's get back over here and prepare to help out with the slaying of the Sarls. Sarls, that's the name. Because it could be the case that they'll be able to fund a second army. We'll see. Also, actually, we may need the demons to put a little pressure on those orthodoxy forces. You know, a hero obviously can't defeat an army by themselves, but if you can do a couple of reasonable assault units plays, you can at least make it so the army has to like really weigh its chances against your city garrisons. It's pretty much the best you can hope for. Ooh, careful. I do believe that Bjornling army is about to get thoroughly elfed. Okay, he's coming back around for the altar, it looks like. That's weird. I should not be able to discover an ambush that is happening in Reichland, 6,000 miles south of us. The Fly Lord asks only that his servants perpetuate the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, employing disease most foul to grease this eternal wheel. Do not think about what the grease is made of. Delighted by your apparent devotion to decay, Grandfather Nurgle blesses each and every one of your warriors with a full-body coating of pulsing cysts and iron-hard calluses. Great. And also we have been gifted, personally, a body here. Let's have a quick look at that. So spiked torso, not really very interesting. Here we go. Armored plagued body. So it's got the chaos armor. It's got the foreboding ignition. 40 armor, like that's significant. It's not significant enough to take off our attack, but these spiked legs I don't think are very compelling. The Doomblade. Sorry, a Doomblade. Some Doomblade. Is this not the... No, the Doom Sword is the weapon. Those are two different ideas. This one looks like a sword. It is merely a blade. A true expert would know the difference.
Nothing.
Yep. We'll just go ahead and declare war here. A Pyrrhic victory with casualties super high. Holy hell. Alright, well this is one we're going to do manually. I was not intending for this episode to go on for another half hour, but apparently we got to do a settlement battle real quick here. The balance of power meter seems to be awarding an awful lot of value to the fact that there is a settlement here. I don't know that I think that the units that they have in this settlement are actually going to be a danger to us in any way. I do wish that on this screen it would move the allies line up a little bit if there weren't many units in the main force, so that you could see and then spell out their units with the same cards. Because I would like to take this time to do a little analysis, but sadly. So here's the deal. Chaos Trolls, not scary. Chaos Chariots, can't imagine they're any good in a siege situation. Seems like we should be fine, basically. This is just a big open... Alright. So let's separate around a couple of these foot entrances and just make it difficult for them to keep us out. So we'll call that group over there Group 4. You in Group 5, the ranged units in Group 4. And then we have these Nurglings that I really just don't know what to do with. I'm gonna put them off by themselves somewhere, I think. Sorry, they're Vanguard deployment. They get to do that. And just so I can grab you, so I guess what? You get to be Control Group 3. Alright, so the Flyers will come in at some other angle, and then obviously, probably what we will end up doing here is rethinking this once we see their defenses, but our units are fast enough that we can just sort of dash around like that. So the ranged units... Ranged units are going with this army. I didn't actually redraw once I added the units to the groupings. So I guess I'm going to send her in with them. Alright. Let's see how the enemies divide themselves. So we got some Norsken Ice Trolls, monstrous infantry, basically just big. You can see they hit really hard. Very impressive weapon strength. But there's not a lot of them. They don't have great stats. Sadly, we don't really have any like anti-large units to really take advantage of their class. The Nurglings are opposed by a single unit of Marauder Berserkers who nobody could possibly care about. I think I'm actually just going to have all the flyers fly in and chomp these guys up real fast. All of the melee over here can just charge. Actually gonna have the range to try to set up like over here. We'll see how that works. And then on this side, so a surprising amount of their force is devoted to this corridor, which we don't care about. I'm debating whether we just have this. I am in fact going to have this group just completely relocate. We'll see if that is allowed. They may not let me get away with that. And the Nurglings fall back. I'm curious whether they will be pursued. But it is very funny to me that such a valuable melee unit was devoted to the cause of blocking the Nurglings. Alright, so the Flyers should have this under control. Pretty much no problem. This tower... that's not this supply zone, is it? No, it's the central. Okay, that's annoying. But actually, they've left the central zone pretty open. Once we, we'll have the Flyers help with this set of units as well. And once we've done that, we can march this whole army right into the center of town. So they're not pursuing the Nurglings. They're not trying very hard to stop us from doing this. Although it does seem like we've lost vision of at least some of them. So I guess it's kind of hard to know. Our hero seems to be regenerating shield just quickly enough for the tower to then hit him again. So he's like neutralizing all of the damage the tower is dealing, which is cool.
We must.
Alright, they're trying to break and run. Here come the trans rights lasers. You know, I had to say, I'm surprised by how well they're standing up to that barrage.
Marauders! Kill! Kill!
Brutalize them!
You know, you guys can break off here. So what is that? That is... Oh, okay, that's a wereskin. Or a werekin. That's a hero unit that's actually pretty good at combat.
Send the champion of chaos!
That thing's a real legitimate danger to us. Obviously, it doesn't fly very well, so not a danger to all of us necessarily. Gosh, I'm having a heck of a time getting these things to actually fly. All right, let's pop around over to here because it doesn't look like there's been any response to this movement. Let's just make sure they can't maintain any towers on this side. I like the way that the supply system seems to be sort of like time-based. Like they get more supplies over time, so the slower you are on your attack, the more they're able to sort of take advantage of that. Good incentive for the defensive player to play, at the very least, sort of offensively defensive.
Glorious annihilation!
Alright, here's what I want to do. These ice trolls can get flanked, although actually the positioning of the Marauder Spearman's a little bit of a pain. Let's fall in here on the back sides of our enemies. You know, the magic that a little bit of flanking can do. God, imagine being normal man-sized and getting attacked by that. I'd just leave. I would just pack my bags and leave the world that such a thing could occur in.
Drinking pain!
Chase those. Do not let them get away.
Marauders of Slanish!
Okay, so it seems like we've drawn most of the battle over here. There is some minor response on this side. They brought out a single unit of Marauder chariots. Everybody in the north calls themselves a Marauder, and there's not like, you know, there's not a licensing exam or anything. You can just say you're a Marauder, and, you know, who's gonna stop you? That's kind of what all of Norsken society is based around, is who's gonna stop you. All right. Their chieftain here is level 1 because he was just summoned. It seems very unlikely that he will survive this. I do think we should continue to harass those trolls. They are not permanently broken.
Agonizing death. Good night, Rocket. The Demon Prince.
Hold up, we got another unit of trolls. These are not ice trolls, though. These are normal trolls. I don't know the difference. All right, just go and counter maraud them. We'll show them who's the marauders. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna disease these trolls. How about that? And then you, all of you, just shoot at the trolls. You also get over there and block them, but like... Okay, so that'll shore up that side. I don't really know what to do with these flying units, because these, the Chaos Furies are difficult to find a role for, I think, in this situation. There's nothing that they can just descend on and pick at. Where are my, my plague drones? Okay, my plague drones have finished breaking that unit. And I wouldn't necessarily put them up against marauders by themselves. Especially not with a hero backing them up. I might actually fly them over to here. We might be breaking up the flying group a little bit. Why are you... Your orders are to attack that chariot. Help your poor wizard fight this chariot. There, we'll drop its speed and its melee defense. And a bunch of you can just push forward to mid, I guess. Yeah, like probably pretty much everybody can just push forward to mid. I'm gonna have this unit fall back because they're all out of cohesion with everybody else, but all right, let's get back to killing their lord. So over here we have the disease, reducing speed. Larger units are much more prone to just getting lit up in a very serious way by ranged volleys. That's pretty effective. I have to say I'm a big fan of that one. Alright, so now that they've been made to retreat... Oh, never mind, they're broken. Just having the Chaos Furies focus on people who are currently retreating but who haven't permanently shattered yet. So I don't necessarily trust them to not get murdered, but they can fight people who don't fight back.
Marauders of Slaanesh! Flens flesh!
Yes!
Finish off that thing. So this seems like it might be a good time for a slicing shard. So we're going to aim this very carefully so it doesn't land on my own units. Can we actually get one of these to do some damage? Okay, so if you just imagine for a second what it must be like if you do that in an area where the whole area is filled with enemies. Very exciting. Our demon prince has just sort of forgotten what he was doing. Probably wasn't important anyway, he reasons.
Brutalize them.
I mean, at this point, we can just move this whole
Souls for Slanesh!
force, just like, right?
Seeking Slanesh's embrace!
Dark is unleashed.
Okay, my lord is a coward of the highest order. He's having a bad day.
The aesthetics are lethal.
I would prefer to just fight them up here if we could just not get distracted. She can help with this. There we go. That'll give us some time to move.
Come to me. Faster, quicker.
I will conquer.
Okay, well this is over. They just aren't surrendering yet. Okay, seems like we're pretty bogged down here. They are not, in fact, going to allow us all to just walk up the slope. But they can't rely on bogging us down too much when so many of our units fly. So I do want to wait until the Berserkers properly join battle before we drop the Nurgle drones, because I don't want the Nurgle drones getting actively axed. That should be good enough.
Glorious annihilation.
Okay, the big demon shows up, and all of a sudden everybody wants to surrender. I can't believe they made me play that out. So yeah, we took no meaningful damage on anyone except for the part where I had my wizard fight their melee specialist hero. That was supposed to... The auto-resolve was going to kill all of our infantry. All of them. Alright, so this wipes out another faction and gets us to 3/4 of a second province, which means we actually have a functional economic base now. And I don't know, there's probably not anything we can do to like hasten the opening of the portals again. I think we're just gonna have to wait and hope and then do better than everybody else is doing. Like I said, at the very least, we can we can interfere. It doesn't need to be a fair race. We can just go to people's homes and beat them up. All right, another 2,000 favor. Pretty good news. This one is the capital of the region, so we want this one to be for the glory of Nurgle.
Named my dread name. Demon Prince.
Yep. Oh, cool. It was high level when we captured it too. Good, good, good. That said, probably it makes sense to put up a growth building in this area. A totem of the crow, and then like the obelisk of Nurgle, which just it looks like a whimsically drawn fruit tree. Some plague toads, some generic beasts of Nurgle. What kind of beast? You're not going to be happier if you know that. Just don't ask. Just don't ask that question. Okay, so we can get some plague drones like really early, it looks like. Now, unfortunately, this is only a 6-slot capital, so we can't build everything we would want here. We're going to have to be a little bit careful. I mean, I think I do want I think I do want one of these. And then this is in a place where... Oh, it has iron. Iron generates glory for corn. Not too worried about Plague Bearers of Nurgle. I think we've got our melee core sort of figured out. So I guess we could just do an income structure here. Yeah, that seems fine. Iglixis has ascended. I don't know if you've heard. So at this point, we may want to start like looking into this stuff because we are actually going to be approaching the capabilities for these units at some point. But we really have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. We really have no idea what any of this stuff does. You know what would be generically useful is Lightning Strike. If we don't, if we don't feel like we are sure. Oh, you know what? We're about to start picking up Slaneshi Cavalry. This Ravishing Cavalcade is relevant.
Chaos rewards me once more.
You've got your Arcane Conduit. So we can't get your Exalted Seeker Chariot until level 22. Oh, right, but we did pass the requirements to get a Locus. So a Locus of Grace gives you a big boost to your melee defense and your physical resistance. That's pretty cool. Swiftness is, you know, swiftness. And Beguilement lowers the leadership and melee defense of enemies. I think... Well, it says area. The warrior glides the beauteous smooth elegance that enables them to simply avoid blows. But effect range 35 meters, ward save area. I think this is an area buff for like a group of troops. We're going to find out.
Kislev's fallen champion.
Okay, yeah. So we've spent all of our money. At this point... It looks to me like Hamathane Frost is headed for the Altar of Crimson Harvest, and we just need to get back in that direction. His troops are still garbage, but a 12-unit garrison's not going to stand up by itself, even to garbage. So yeah, this is one of the things I wanted to do. I just wanted to get over here and start messing with the other Sarl army that obviously they were going to start recruiting once they realized what was up. Alright, assault units, get better at stuff. Well, you know, it's important to enjoy your work. So yeah, this one's going to be shadowing Kustalton here. Yeah, it is a bummer that we probably won't be able to get the Tower of Croc right away, but I think we definitely have to reverse course and hit this stuff up. Unless, maybe the right move is to, like, start a new army. I mean, that'd be a next turn concern, though. Why is my... We're still suffering 6 points from... Or 6 points of negatives from chaos, or from raiding. You'd think, with all these control buildings, we'd be okay by now. All right, let's run the end of turn cycle one more time here. And then we will call it there for this episode. All right, so the Great Orthodoxy is hitting our shores in force. Although we've seen in the past that most of them are cowards. If we break one of the armies, it's likely the other will flee. This is a newer problem. Yep, you're gonna hurl yourself against the garrison and lose. So on their way out, this... Oh, wow, actually, Marienburg got conquered. The Greylings actually took it. That's wild. They only brought one army down there, didn't they? Maybe the Norskens are in position here to just relieve all of the pressure that we're facing from the Southerners. Alright, so we have completely defeated Clan Mange. Unfortunately, we have a lot of other problems here.
Boyars bow to no one.
That is a full force of people with, like, armored Kossars with great weapons. That guy has a gun. So that's a problem. Those are rifle units. Yeah. Alright. Looks like maybe the time for our, internecine chaos people struggles is over. Maybe we need to deal with some other stuff here. The Doomsword. Hey, hold on a second.
Chaos and carnage.
Hold on a second. I know this one. So it's fine by itself. The glory gain improvement, melee attack for everybody improvement. Like, this is good stuff though. And now we have a cool item set bonus. And now that we are no longer using that arm, we can potentially equip a more compelling right arm. So all we're getting from our right arm now is the mortal blow ability and a very small weapon damage increase. Arm spikes, I think, are an improvement over that. Deathbringer, yeah, the Deathbringer arm would be an improvement over that. I think that's what we're gonna do. Let's go light armored gauntlets. So we got our Deathbringer arm and our extra melee attack back. We also have a couple of new tails unlocked. Not terribly compelling, I think. So Call for Power I do like. Right now we're getting 10 melee attack and 5% ward save from our head and Frenzy. It's very difficult to imagine topping that, honestly. Plus, he has such top energy himself. You know, probably would be confusing. All right, I think this is where we're going to stop. It turns out things have turned around on us a little bit. Situation's getting kind of complicated. And at some point, we still need to actually, like, you know, pursue winning the game. So I think that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, I would love to sew up this second province, but I think we might have to spill a little bit of Southerner blood first. And we'll see you then.